Skrunkle coming in hot. Oh, that's right. We were fighting wolves right away. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. I think I already got this, but we're gonna double check. Okay, good. I was honestly just worried about having to start completely over, because I was like, I think I spent time last time we played this getting the treasure chest, but glad to see that's gone and done with. The fuck out of my face! I love that you can just like shoot those guys in the face. Like immediately. Okay. That's right. We gotta light each one of these torches. No, that's Epona's song. It's the Zelda song. The Zelda's... Wait, is it Zelda's Lullaby or is it the Temple of Time? Wait. Is it this? Pretty sick of hearing about the insanity out there, though. How are you? I'm doing okay. Anything in particular you're talking about, Grimoire? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Okay. No, it's not. It's not the Sun Song, Vince. It's it's for the temple. Is there like a way for me? Okay. I'm not entirely sure where I need... maybe I'm here too early. It's possible I'm here too early. Sort of. Just how hard is it to get that women are people too? And this stuff isn't just simple, wait a few months and go back to normal for traumatic experiences. Are you talking about like with all the Andrew Tate stuff and like... Well, I mean, there's a whole lot going on, right? Fucking Supreme Court. Bought and sold by Donald Trump. And dumbass Republican lawmakers. Oh, don't hit me. Okay, nice. I got knocked up. Here. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking sucks. I think a hard mantra to keep in mind with all of that stuff is like controlling what you can control, right? Like everything is out of our control at this point, outside of like voting, right? And if you can, protesting in the areas where you can like show up. I don't know. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, and I think that's probably the most frustrating part. You know, like not being able to do anything about this shit is probably the most frustrating thing in general. Wait, isn't this a completely different room? Yeah. Yeah, just all of it at this point and trying to remain neutral and objective because feeling the fires of misunderstanding can happen in any avenue. But how many times can we say, wow? Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think like it's completely valid to be tired of this shit. You know, I think like having conversations about this stuff is super important. I don't think, you know, it's something that you should ever stop talking about. I think pretending that it doesn't bother you. You know, I say like the mantra is control what we can control, right? But that doesn't mean we don't talk about it. It doesn't mean that we don't acknowledge that this is fucked up, and it doesn't matter how many times you need to talk about it. Whatever's going to make you, you know, feel some form of relief that you're not alone in how you feel about this shit. Right? That's like the big thing. I think a big part of it is like you feel like you can't do anything about it. So you're stuck in this perpetual state of not sure like how giving a fuck is going to help you. And you're just in this, you're in a constant state of like disbelief because the values that you have don't match the people that are quote unquote leading the country. But it's like those people got into positions of power for a reason. A lot of it has to do with our misinformed and outdated way of voting from older voters who just vote Republican no matter what, until things start going fucked up. It's going to happen the same way with Democrats. We're going to get all these Democratic leadership in place, and then we're going to still see the corruption and see people who are blatantly bought and sold. Like there was that video that was floating around a little bit ago where it was like a bunch of Bank of America representatives like literally talking about how like one of them was transferring to like one of the government leaders was transferring to Bank of America in like the form of leadership. Like they're just having a recorded meeting about that shit. It's like, can you just like broadcast how corrupt and fucked up our system is, please? Like all of this used to happen behind closed doors. So we're in a perpetual state of getting new information and discovering how the system functions, you know? And it's inundated. Like we're being inundated with this information. Fuck. Okay. So a lot of this is like new for us, which I think is like a big part of the problem. But at the same time, I'm also very grateful that we know about all this shit and how it's been going on. Why did I say going on? And how it's been going on, because we could have been just in this, like, we could have got the Supreme Court decision, like, not even immediately. It'd be so much harder to make like efforts in, oh shit, hold on. I forgot to change my fucking audio. It'd be so harder to like organize protests and do all this shit in the old days where we're like finding out by telegram or reading the newspaper, you know what I mean? Another frightening fact, it is virtually legal for Congress members to participate in insider trading. Oh yeah, Nancy Pelosi is one of those. I actually follow a dedicated like website for whenever she does stock trades, because her return is consistently super high because she's doing insider trading. So we got that going for us, at least. I got pretty rocked way earlier in the year when I found out my partner didn't support those rights for women or men. What, like the rights for abortion and stuff? Oh, I'm sorry about that. That sucks. Finding that shit out is never easy. I dated a person for two and a half years and found out that they believed they had ghosts that possessed them that caused them to act differently. I think that's like a 1 year or maybe even like 6 months in, you have that conversation with your significant other, you know? Not to say that's the same of what you're talking about, Grimoire, but people withhold information. I think with all partners, especially if you're, depending on like the kind of relationship you're looking for, if you're looking for a relationship, I think it's important to be testing the waters pretty greatly. Like asking them serious questions about how they feel about things and all of that. I think it's pretty easy to miss that shit. Hey Pete, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Vasectomies. Well, I don't know if vasectomies are like, they're not in the same vein, because vasectomies are completely reversible. And from what I understand, the procedure isn't like, it's like too crazy either. Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. Oh, what part confused you? But he felt that even that should be stifled for men a bit. Stifled for men. Did I respond to that not appropriately then? Maybe I confused you because I didn't fully answer. Oh, yeah. I dual because I'm not a Twitch affiliate, I can stream wherever I want. I do it to TikTok too, but I haven't gotten a stream key yet for that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody else in YouTube chat. I always forget to clarify that. I'm pretty sure Deku Nuts stunned these guys, right? Or am I wrong? Let's find out. They, them pronouns. Okay, thank you. That's the only thing that I really don't like about dual streaming is my chat doesn't like list the pronouns for anybody in the plugin. That's probably my biggest like gripe with this shit. You never got the plugin working? Oh. Provides housing for disabled people. Oh, that's fantastic. So you got accessible housing. That's great.
Watch out for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling.
I love how she just like, or Navi just drops these like fat hints that are absolutely terrifying in this level. Oh no, I'm gonna get fucking pulled. Can I not show YouTube chat on screen as well? No. Shit, I don't have a key. I'm missing a key. You use YouTube as your stream archive, so to speak. I know a few streamers that do that. Granted, not everyone announces that before everyone spams booty emotes every time, but yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't really like, I usually try to edit the Twitch VOD and then I export to YouTube. But I have like the live streams there for people that want to just like watch the live stream, because some people don't want it edited. I know some people don't want edited content, if that makes sense. Like they want to catch the VOD specifically. But yeah, not just a streamer archive. I still have I have a bunch of my talk shows and interviews on there, like Colt's interviews on there, at work, a bunch of other people. I do edit and don't edit. Yeah, so there's like a live stream tab, and then all of the edited ones go under standard video uploads. Ryuto, hey, how you doing? Good to see you, boss. Come on, nerd. Nice. Oh. Oh shit. Nice. Eat my Deku nut, bitch. Sorry. That was what I needed. Nice. We got a fucking fairy too. Good stuff. I hate these things. Get away from me. Oh, you're fine, Grimoire. You're fine. Like, I don't want... If I wanted my streaming environment to be pristine with conversation that I could control, I wouldn't be streaming. You know what I mean? I would be recording and just playing the game. So yeah. I mean, I use my stream primarily for conversation and having interesting conversation and giving advice and giving feedback in the moment and stuff. So that's my prerogative when it comes down to stream. I don't want to pretend like everything is fine all the time, and I don't want to be like a toxic positive streamer. I'd prefer to like acknowledge that things are going on in the world and have conversations on them. And also like admit if I don't know anything. That's like a big part of like this stuff. I think like there's a lot of streamers who pretend to be in the know, or have like a rough idea of what's going on, and they like play up the whole dramatization of the world and being very toxic about, you know, access to information. But the best analogy I can give you is like everybody's got their own bubble of like information that they're savvy to and participate in, and anything outside of that bubble is like new information. Not everybody's open to accepting new information or has like an open mind about all this stuff. There's a lot of people who feel comfortable in that information bubble, like, you know, flat earthers and anti-vax people. Like, it's a comfortable space for them to be in, you know? It also gives them something tangible to like worry about or, you know, share with others, when otherwise they probably didn't have like a really good connection with. Unfortunately, they don't have like a good support system, you know? Can't really say the same for like, you know, Trump supporters or QAnon supporters, but because that whole scene is really sad. There's a lot of people who like, you know, quote unquote lost their families because they got super into conspiracy theory and weren't, you know, really staying on the in the proper channels for help. Nice. Damn. Oh, I can't backflip away from that. Nice. Whoa. Frame drop. This game can't handle the particle effects. But yeah, Grimoire, in summation, don't be afraid to ever talk about anything in this chat. Okay, I believe this is the bow, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure we get the bow in this chest. Yeah, I think, well, I guess I'm very privileged as well, Pete, to like be aware of what that is and conceptualize it, because there's a lot of people who don't. Namely people who are like stuck in the conspiracy theory like avenue. I know there's a lot of things that are like technically, you know, conspiracy, but I don't know. Like, you know, government spying with like the NSA and shit. Like that was stuff that like people tinfoil hatted for a while, but turns out it was actually real, you know? Oh shit, I gotta be quicker on the draw with that. And then do I go back down here, or is it? Yeah. Like, how do you speed run this? How is it possible to speed run this? This is so slow. Cool. I believe this is compass. Yeah. Hurting them is a really... I mean, it's... all of those are symptoms, like, a lot of it's symptoms of, like, distrust in the government and stuff, like... You're not one to usually go full caps frustration. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, like, how many people are you talking about that stuff with, right? I don't know. To me, it tells me that you haven't had the chance to really express yourself on the matter, or at least enough. I wish I could talk. Yeah, and you totally can do that here. Thanks for choosing this space to do so. I know there's not a whole lot of spaces where, like, you can have conversation and indulge in that sort of thing without people being like, let's keep it positive, you know? I don't know why I chose that voice, but... Don't be a buzzkill. That's not the case here. There has been no voice acted bits so far. Other than Navi, like, saying something. Yeah. Yeah, religion is definitely a strange space to be in, to be honest. Religion can do a lot of harm for people who have a fertile mind for things that require nothing but faith, you know? Unfortunately, that's like the condition for a lot of people. Religion can condition people to go blindly in faith. There's a lot of good stuff in religion, I think. As a particularly non-religious person, I have experienced both ends of the spectrum. I've experienced the toxic, unrealistic, unyielding faith in a power that doesn't necessarily reflect what humanity is all about, and also the very kind, introspective, and more open for interpretation religion, which is like something that I've kind of amalgamated, adopted on my own. I hate these buggers. There we go. Mix that with any of us. Mix that with any of us not having the skills to have a conversation rather than jumping to, you seem to have a different opinion than my own, so let me start presuming that you and others are about to say to me, and also yell about it. Yeah. Which is a style speaking, defending his personal opinions. While I understand it was baffling that he would get confused by the efforts of others to not engage in that fashion. Well, yeah, because you get defensive. So like when you start talking about something that he personally believes, it's in short an extension of himself. So he believes that, or sorry, did you say he? Yeah, his. So like people who have a strong belief in things, if it comes under questioning, if those beliefs or opinions are valid, they take it as an extension of themselves. And so they defend it as if they're being physically attacked, which is honestly like kind of interesting in my opinion, because it just kind of showcases how not weak they're. It's just like, this is a person that isn't mature enough to understand that. You know what I mean? Like when you say that's their style of speaking, that's not really a style. That's just insecurity. You know? It's uncomfortable to take note of those extensions of our beliefs and how they can be, or feel like they can be extension of ourselves, and question them or have them questioned, even in just curious nature. But it does seem immature at the same time. Yeah. Well, it is immature. I mean, I think it's an immature way to have such staunch beliefs, expecting nothing to ever change ever. I think, especially for religious people, I think a lot of that again comes from like the conditioning with like the Bible. Because like I haven't met a single religious person that I haven't been able to have a conversation with regarding my belief system and why I believe the things I do. Unless they were like toxically immature and didn't have like a nuanced way of experiencing their religion, if that makes sense. I know I'm like using a lot of big words, but like basically the way I would explain it is like a lot of the conversations that I've had around religion is more about questioning whether or not the Bible is like an actual thing that needs to be interpreted. Like for me, I believe that the Bible is nothing but a bunch of man-made stories to help, you know, reaffirm, and I'm sure there's good, you know, morals and stories and shit in there, but it's definitely a relic of its time. I don't think it has any relevancy outside of like the interpreted stories and stuff. Like there's probably good life lessons and shit like that, but in my experience, like the way I guess I think about God is that God is bigger than a book. And I know God is like a pretty triggering word for a lot of people. It took me a while to like disassociate God with the toxic religious use of the word. But with that came a whole lot of freedom. Like God to me, I mean, I don't think about it in like a divine sense. That's not the way I would explain it, but it's more about, you know, just understanding that the world is a lot more complex than it can physically be seen. I think there's a lot of like metaphysical things that are not we're not equipped to understand, because we have mouths, nose, ears, eyes, like things that like kind of inundate us with like needing information in order for us to accept it. If we don't have the tools, the ability to see, hear, you know, feel these things, then we're not going to really be likely to understand them, if that makes sense. I am uncertain. I'm just going to cross into here. I thought it would just make sense, like, because once you go back to the torch room, you're like, okay, these torches aren't lit, so obviously I go this way. Oh, I didn't continue. I went backwards.
Watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling.
I already said that earlier, but just to remind you. Oh, come on, dude. Of course. Wolves are back. Get out of my fucking way, you stupid idiot. I think it's important with any idea to be willing to be wrong, which is why sometimes deeply held beliefs can be complicated, because admitting you were wrong feels like you're giving up a part of your identity. Yes, agreed. Yeah, and I guess it really depends on your upbringing too, because like the way I grew up, I had a bunch of people telling me why the fuck, you know, I should be doing things and what I should believe in, and I had a pretty big impasse in my life where I went to Greek Sunday school for a few years of my life, and I learned about like the saints and like all this other stuff, and then my parents sent me to a Lutheran school, an American Lutheran school, for grade school for the first like 4 years, and yeah, we were learning about like religion and I had like a grade in religion, which is fucking wild to think about. Anyway, I got a C in it, by the way, and that's wild to think about. Then I was asking questions about, you know, the religion. I was like, hey, in Greek Orthodox Church, we learn about saints. Like, are there any saints that we learn about in here? And they're like, no, those are not real. I was like, they're not real? Then why did I learn all about them? Like, I don't know why, but they're not real. It's not something that we teach here or believe in. I'm like, okay. So then I went to my parents and I was asking about it, and then I had like sort of a serious talk. I think I can't really recall any details about that, but that was the impasse. It was like, okay, so nobody knows what they're talking about. Everybody kind of believes what they want to believe, and I don't believe in any of this. So I spent a long time being atheist, which in its own weird way is like a strict religion, and then I became more agnostic. Definitely on the agnostic side of things. Easy. These guys are easy. Just bump into them with the shield up. Bye. But yeah. Yeah, and funny enough, the reason why I became agnostic was because of drug use. So after doing a little bit too much drug use, I was questioning my belief in like what I believed in. I was like, what do you believe in? And I kept saying nothing. I kept repeating nothing. And I was like, that doesn't seem right, because I feel like I don't know, like I feel like the words were tainted for me again, like God, spirit, ghosts, like all of those things are associated with a lot of like meanings that were, again, I agreed were like the word God, I agreed was a religious word, but that's not necessarily the case. I think it's important for you to find your own meaning in the things that you're given, and you can have your own religion and practice, and like, you know, no harm, no foul to anybody who's like actively doing that stuff, but I don't know.
Scrungle, watch out! The ceiling is falling down!
The ceiling is falling down. I'm dead. Shit. What does this do? Okay. How come it's not going in first person mode? That sucks. Would you be willing to tell us about that if it is something you're all right going into, of course, and if not, it's not against TOS, no. Can you ask me specifically, Grimoire? Because maybe I missed it in chat. I kind of spaced a little bit here. Oh shit, I think I messed up. If I leave and come back, does it reset? It does. Nice. Are you asking like specifically what my belief system is? Oh, yeah, yeah. So at the time I was dating somebody who was very religious. And I was like, oh, I can change this person. I can, like, you know, convince them that their entire religious belief is incorrect. And so I'm so confused right now. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna educate this person on like how they should be looking at oh wait, this is a trap. This is the trap. This is not a piece I use. I don't have enough time. So yeah, I was like, you know, they had a really firm belief, and I was like, I never really thought about like what my religion is, or like what my belief was. So I essentially just, I was like, I'm gonna smoke up and I'm gonna just sit in the dark and I'm gonna just think about like what I believe in. And I kept coming up with nothing. I was just like, you know, Steve, what is your belief? What do you believe? And I started asking myself questions while I was very baked. And I was like, you know, so do you believe that there is a higher power? And I was like, I don't really know what that means. You know, what do you mean by higher power? Do you believe that there is a man in the sky who created everything? And I was like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe there's a man, you know, I don't believe there's a single entity that created all this. He goes, but what about your psychedelic use? In your psychedelic use, like, you know in your very being that there is something that connects human beings to each other. Like, you are connected to everyone that you interact with. Like, you know that. And that was always a feeling that I've had when I was in a state that decriminalized mushrooms specifically. Mushrooms have always given me the sensation that I know I am in the know. I know that I'm connected to all human beings, to every person I interact with, and I'm especially connected to the people that I love and care about. And when I say connected, I mean that, like, the mantra that I have of you or me living a different life is at a whole nother level. I can empathize and fully feel that person's presence and, like, feel like I'm, you know, a part of them. And so, so the next step after that was, like, again, asking myself more questions. And I was like, okay, so we know that, like, it's not that God doesn't exist, but what if God is the word that you associate, like, what does the word God mean to you? And I was like, God to me is religious. It makes me feel like I'm talking about Christianity. I'm talking about Catholicism. I'm talking about, like, a religion. And then I was like, you know, but the word God doesn't need to mean that. It's just what was given to you. And I was like, that's a good point, Steve. That's a good point. You know, maybe we should reclaim what this is. You know, what is this? What do we do about this? How do we reclaim this word? What does this word mean to you now? And I was like, God is like the power. Like, I think of humanity in its most beautiful form. The loving and accepting part of humanity, the part of humanity that looks out for others, that advocates for the well-being of everyone, everywhere, all at once. That's what God is. So the way I envision it is, like, think about, I'll share with you my happiest memory okay, to explain this because I feel like it'll drive it home. When I was a child, we had a giant backyard. I'm talking about half a football field backyard. And I distinctly remember mowing the lawn with my father while riding on the ride-on mower and sitting in his lap. And there's a lot of instances in my life where like some of my favorite memories were sitting on the laps of the people that I loved and they loved me. And that physical action of being on their lap and being with them and experiencing something with them is a form of love that I don't think I've ever been able to replicate ever outside of, you know, being with my wife. And that sort of like childhood innocence and having nothing else in the world but that moment existing is what I would consider God. So like, you know, that memory I remember so vividly. We would be going on a straightaway in the lawn and my dad would be like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And there was a lever on the lawnmower that was like turtle, and then it would be a rabbit, and he's like, "Go to rabbit," and then I'd push it, and then the lawnmower would go really fast in the concept of like me being like a 4 or 5 year old little boy. And I would be overcome with like laughing and he would be laughing. And I was like, that to me is what, and that interconnectedness, that memory, that feeling, a majority of human beings have experienced joy to that regard in some form of their life. And in that way, I feel connected to everybody. And I was like, that's what I think God is. God is like this overwhelming sense of love and understanding and for other people. It's not a man in the sky that created all of these things. It is something that like is beyond the word God. And so when that's what it meant to me. And so I realized that God was more than a Bible and more than something that I could even describe. It was like a belief that love exists in everybody to that, like to the point of like, you know, have you ever loved somebody so much with your heart or had a beautiful moment with somebody that you just like you can never forget? Like that to me is how I associate with the word God. And so when I came to that realization, I was like, okay, so that's my religion. Love is in a way its own form of religion, believing in that, hoping for the best, assuming positive intent, being proud of the things you accomplish and showcasing something or advocating for something or speaking on something, like loving yourself, like that's a form of worship. I don't know. And then, I started to come down and I was like, man, I realized I never had that conversation with myself. And even though I wasn't like, I broke up with this person over religion, like they broke up with me because I wasn't religious. It really did give me the perspective of like, you know, I felt like I knew what religion and God was all about, but I never sat down and asked myself what I really believed in and how I interpreted things. And that's when I started this whole point of like self-reflection. I'm always going to be reflecting on things. So there you go. Thank you for asking that question, Grimoire. I hope that makes sense. How? Hey, Lady Matrix. Hi. Hi, Stoof. How you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. How you doing, lady? You had a similar experience? Did you have an ex-girlfriend that was super religious, or were you religious? What the fuck is going on? Man, I'm not quick on the trigger here. Doing okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking, Grimoire. August 18th, 2019. Welcome back. Damn, this stupid ghost is spinning, giving away that position immediately. Right in front of me, you're a nerd. It's this one. Haha! You stupid idiot. This ghost was like, how did he know it was me? Time has passed that much, lady. Okay. Oh, this is the spinning room. I remember. Let's see what we got. Girlfriend was religious. Yeah. Yep. So you had a very similar experience, I'm assuming. That was a really rough time too, because I was like, I love this person. Like, for them not to love me back, or like, you know, choose religion over me, it was like fucking mind blowing. I was like, no way. I love you so much. Get out of here, nerd. Definitely an eye-opening experience. To be honest, religion can be nice, but in these scenarios, how destructive it can be, especially on a relationship. Yeah. I mean, in the end, that was a really big indicator that I didn't want to be with that person, because they weren't questioning anything they were being taught. There was a lot of conversation we were having related to, like, you know, how you would raise children and, like, you know, important things. And like, not to slight, you know, it'd be different if like they had some give and understanding. Like when I went to them, I told them, you know, my whole like revelation and how I came to my belief system after talking with them, like trying to save the relationship to a certain regard. And it was already too late, you know, like they had already accepted the fact that like I don't believe the same things they do, and we weren't compatible. And I was like, okay, you know, that's, I'm not going to take any personal. I learned something about myself. I'm glad that, you know, you didn't, we didn't date for a really long time. So no bad vibes, you know? Didn't I hear a Skulltula though? Yeah, life has a funny way of saying this isn't the one. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna go one more just in case I missed something. I feel like I heard maybe it was the Skulltula that I killed, but no. Weird. Yeah, this isn't the one. Yeah, I think there's a lot of important questions that you can ask, like, your partner, especially if you've been dating for a bit. I think understanding what people's intentions are is super important, especially at the start of dating. Like, you know, are you dating for, it's interesting to think about now, but my somewhat religious partner was actually the one often expressing that he thought/hoped we were compatible despite those belief differences, clearly causing issues. Well, I mean, it just shows you that they were just hoping you would eventually fall into their belief system, which is kind of selfish in that regard. But yeah, my ex-girlfriend was extremely homophobic, but dated me. She was religious and she was already breaking the sacred rule. Ugh. Yeah, that's a self-hate sort of thing. I hope they weren't fetishizing you right now. Oh, I'm fighting Ganondorf. in the we're playing Ocarina of Time. I'm voice acting Ocarina of Time. What am I supposed to do here? I guess I try to leave, right? And then the gate comes up. Yeah. 2019 TwitchCon. That's right, baby. Mortuary Assistant. Is that game scary? I've seen some people have mixed feelings about it. Phantom Ganon. Wasn't too bad. Oh, damn, lady. That's fucking sick. Oh, what? Feel better soon? What happened? Oh, go to sleep, yo. Thanks for bringing everybody over here. Hope you feel better. Can we get some diddles in the chat for Sledge on his way out, please? Have a good night, you hunk. Hope you feel better. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I hear you behind me. Aha! I can't see. There we go. What? Ow! Damn! Aha! What? Why is it not connecting? That's super weird. Oh. Oh! Not good. I need some milk. Where the fuck is that going, dude? Oh! Fucking slow-balled it. Yeah, lady. I mean, that's kind of a tell. Aha! Hey, James. Get fucked!
You fucking suck! Hey kid, you did quite well. It looks like you may be gaining some slight skill. But you have defeated only my phantom. When you fight the real me, it won't be so easy, bitch. What a worthless creation that ghost was. I will banish it to the gap between dimensions. My booty hole.
This guy banished this ghost to his asshole. That's crazy, dude. Did you guys hear that? Crazy. Chamber of Sages.
Thank you. Because of you, I could awaken as a sage. I am Saria, the sage of the Forest Temple. I always believed that you would come, because I know you. You don't have to explain it to me, because it is destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. I will stay here as the forest sage and help you. Now please, take this medallion. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You receive the forest medallion. Soraya awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours!
Saria will always be your friend. Whoa.
Hey, look.
Hi there, I'm the Deku Tree Spout. Because you and Saria broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I could go in forest. Thanks a lot.
Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognized you with your grown-up body, did they? Wait, is he talking to me still?
Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognize you with your grown-up body, did they? That's because the Kokiri never grow up. Even after 7 years, they're still kids. You must be wondering why only you have grown up. Well, as you might have already guessed, you are not a Kokiri. You are actually a Hylian. I'm happy to finally reveal the secret to you. Some time ago, before the King of Hyrule unified this country, there was a fierce war in the world. One day, to escape from the fires of the war, a Hylian mother and her baby boy entered this forbidden forest. The mother was gravely injured. Her only choice was to entrust the child to the Deku Tree, the guardian spirit of the forest. The Deku Tree could sense that this was a child of destiny, so whose fate would affect the entire world, so he took him into the forest. After the mother passed away, the baby was raised as a Kokiri, and now, finally the day of destiny has come. You are a Hylian, and we're always bound to lead this forest. And now, you have learned your own destiny, so you know what you must do. That's right, you must save the land of Hyrule! Now, Skunkle, break the curses on all the temples, and return peace to Hyrule! Hi there, I'm the Deku Tree Spout. Because you and Saria broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I could go in forest. Thanks a lot.
Oh man, I love how there was like fire and all this shit happening, and like you could just because the Deku Sprout was still talking, it was like absolutely perfect. Oh god, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Big kisses. Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. Tomorrow's stream is going to be at 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be playing some more Ocarina of Time, voice acting, all that fun shit. Yeah, thanks again so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Have a good night, you hunks. Advocate for yourselves and your mental healths. Healths? Healths. Goodbye.